When we examine the watch, we often talk about the dial's symmetry, but what will happen if the designers actually applied this to the whole case? The Formicidae from Biotic. This video is brought to you by Biotic Watches. The Formicidae Field Watch is the first offering from Biotic with the aim of promoting nature and its beauty through design and function. The first beautiful thing about the watch is the modest dimensions. It measures at 39mm in diameter, 47mm in lug-to-lug distance, and 40mm of lug width. The case height is also pretty decent with 12mm of measurement that facilitates a 200-meter water resistance with both of its crowns being threaded. Like with most microbrands, the Formicidae uses the Miyota 9015 movement, which is an automatic caliber, has a hand-winding feature, 42 hours of power reserve, and 4 Hz of frequency. This will also use a sapphire crystal and stainless steel for maximum durability at this price point. What makes this unique is having both crowns located at the opposite sides of the case for a truly symmetrical case profile. Holding this watch on your hand, you get the impression that its twin crown setup won't work for the conventional watch consumer who's looking for a good timepiece to work together with their fashion or attire. It certainly looks unusual, but also displays a very instrumental aesthetics. But once on the wrist, those two crowns seems to visually cancel each other out. It's likely because of the soft crown guards easing your eyes out towards the lugs. I would prefer shorter crowns though. But those long crowns help make time setting very easy. With the Miyota 9015, you get hand winding upon unthreading the crown. The first step is for the date setting, and the last step is for setting the hands. The crown on the left is for the compass inner bezel. Unscrew the crown to access this feature. You can rotate it in both directions. From here, you can approximate your location by pointing the hour hand towards the sun and setting the south marker in between the hour hand and 12 o'clock index. Another mechanical feature of the watch are the quick-release spring bars. More and more brands are finding ways to quickly replace their bands. The Formicidae also throws in this feature for everyone to enjoy. Of course, to avoid making this a fidget pincher, you need to actually swap it up with straps to see how fun it is. With a 12mm lug width, the strap options are virtually endless for this field watch. Let's begin with some premium sailcloth straps from Artem. With its own quick-release spring bars, snapping this on the Formicidae takes only a few seconds. With its pleasing texture and incredible durability, this sailcloth strap is a must-buy for everyone. Don't forget, different styles of stitching can bring a different experience to a watch. Take for example this high contrast white stitch over the dark dial. It feels a little more sporty compared to the industrial look of the all-black strap. If you want to be a lot more casual, try throwing in a fabric NATO strap. There's quite a bit more interest now with this setup, but the polish keepers for this particular NATO feels a little out of place for the matted Formicidae. It's a good thing we also have NATOs with matted keepers. This one pairs better with the watch case. There is a perceivable dip in quality though, as this cheap Amazon strap couldn't compare with the softer, more premium fabrics. Now let's have this in the same strap but with an actual field color. This one even matches Biotic's travel case as well. Let's dress it up back to its bracelet and let's pull down the examination table for a closer look. Biotic went out of its way in designing this watch to be clearly different from the very saturated microbrand market. There is a distinct design language to the Formicidae, starting with the case sculpture. Taking inspiration from ants, the sides of the case is lined with these teardrop inlays. These soft and curved lines are used also on the bracelet center links. This is then interestingly framed with brush H-links, forming an industrial structure around these organic shapes. This same thematic contrast is noticeable too on the concave bezel. These elements give the Formicidae its unique profile. While the case is dominated by natural lines, the dial is pure business with its minute track and compass scales. Behind the watch is a neat illustration of the adventurer ant. This is the company's commitment in supporting its local artists in Singapore. Back to the dial, there is an incredible depth on the beveled center part. This fumade sunburst portion is elegantly signed and clinically detailed. This takes full advantage of light play. It's the most beautiful part of this watch for this designer's taste. This is made even better with the carved out chapter markers. Its sheer dimensionality sells the whole watch even at the expense of the rest of its features. The current unit that we have in review will have a few changes for its production models. The minute hands will be a bit shorter, there will be loom on the date wheel, significantly shorter crown, and the proper scale for the compass bezel. The price is currently listed at $5.99 on their website, but with the Kickstarter campaign launching in June, expect some early bird discounts. Discount or not, the value is in the uniqueness and yes, that symmetry. Would this symmetry be enough? The straight answer is no. You need to have other features to spice up the deal, like decent loom, desirable proportions, and a fantastic dial with a feasibly more practical function. Biotic has some of these in their first watch. You just have to wear it on your wrist and live with the two symmetrical crowns. I welcome the idea of symmetry on my cases, just not this obvious. And last time I checked, not everyone welcomes my opinion. Biotic manages to not just emphasize the symmetry of the dial and case, but also fuse together nature's design and industrial lines. It's a carefully designed watch that also has a very deep dial that's both interesting and unusual. You know what happened with my last video with Christopher Ward? It actually got uploaded 10 minutes before the embargo. I don't know how that happened. Maybe the way I set the schedule, I pressed something before I pressed save. That is so weird. I really apologize for that. I didn't mean to upload it like 10 minutes or a few minutes before the embargo. But next time, you should be careful when you're scheduling your videos.